A very important part of style sheets is that students have a tendency to set them up and then not use them appropriately. And most often what will happen is students will come in after they've created a style and they will change it. They will change the color or the size or some aspect of the text. Let's say I'll make it italic and I'll make it smaller. And now when I look at the style sheet, this piece of text now let me see here. This piece of text is no longer the style because I overrode the style. I changed it. Let me see here. Here it is with the correct style. But watch what happens as soon as I manually change it in some manner. In this case, I made it smaller. I suddenly have a plus sign here. This tells me that this piece of text, which was originally labeled or connected with this paragraph style, has been changed. I've overwritten it or overridden its specs. And so I want to get rid of these pluses. You don't want these to be here. Two ways to do it. Either, again, selecting the text with one of the text tools, or here with the selection tool and clicking off of it. I'll click to the basic paragraph and then go back to the month's style sheet, and there it is at the right size and with the right specifications, and the plus sign is no longer there. And so what I did was I brought the text back to exactly what the style sheet had set it up for, and not with any manual messing around of the text. Here's another way. Here again, watch. I'll go to bold, and you're going to see a little plus sign pop up here automatically right here when I do that. I'm going to go to bold text, and bingo, there's that plus sign again. So I want to get rid of this. The other way to do so is to go up to our options button right here and say clear all of the overrides. And when I do that, it'll return that piece of text back to the basics of strictly what that style sheet is, and it's going to get rid of the plus sign. So clear the overrides. The text got a little bit smaller. It went back to being regular instead of bold, and once again the plus is gone. So it's back to purely having the specifications of the style sheet and nothing else. And so it's very important that you set up the style sheets and you use them appropriately, and don't come in and start changing and tweaking your type all over the place. And what I would do is I would simply set up new paragraph styles for all of the different groups or categories of text. Let's say the holidays. That would be an obvious one. So here it is. I'm going to just create a little text box here, and I'm just trying to get this. I'll create a little text box, and I'll go Thanksgiving, and that piece of text we're going to take that piece of text, and let's say it goes down here on our calendar, and I want to go into the holidays, and I want to say, okay, let me set this style sheet up. I want this holiday style sheet to be, let's say times, I don't want it 70 point, let's say it needs to be fairly small, so I'll say it should be 8 point. I want it to be centered in the text box, and I want, let's say, the color to be, let's say, blue. I'll say, let's say magenta, and I'll say OK. And now I can highlight the text, highlight that little piece of text, and make it the holidays. And there it is. I know it's kind of small, but I can then just bring my text box in, and I could put it there, and there it is. I might just put it right down in the bottom of one of my cells, and there is my holiday. And maybe you go, oh well, that that red, I can't read that. It's hard to read. All right, so let's go back and we'll change it to black by going back to that style sheet, and we'll simply say change everything that has that style attached to it to a different color. We'll make it black. We'll say OK, and notice my text suddenly changed to black. And that's the basics of style sheets.